Yeah, I don't go that deep. Actually, I'm quite easygoing with the politics. I'm not really.
That's for me too. I don't think it really matters because I'm not rich. That it doesn't matter if there's a Democrat in the office or a conservative in the office. It
Mm.
doesn't really affect my life or change my life. I don't think I've
The-
ever noticed really in my personal life who the president was. I mean, there was good times. I remember the Clinton years being really economically strong, but I don't know if that had
yeah,
anything to do with who was in the White House for sure.
I think the U.S. is such a the idea of American dream is so strong in U.S. that regardless of the president, U.S.
Right.
is being gonna be fine because I think now you have Democrats and Biden, but I do believe in the 4 years you're gonna have Trump again or someone else, and then after 4 years you're gonna have Democrat again, and it's like
That's
fluctuating, and it's always
yeah.
been this way, right?
And
It's
the problem is, it's hard to get anything done that way because the who's in charge is always changing, and they're just when
yeah,
the Democrats come into power, they undo all the work of the Republicans and vice versa.
but maybe
So,
that's how it meant to be. Maybe
well, when we compare it to
for
like China can make a plan for 40 years and just stick to it and know that it's going to go
yeah,
through and no one's going to oppose it. And how do you compete against a country like that when every 8 years we undo everything we worked on for 8 years in this country?
yeah.
So
But
it's tough.
that's only assuming that idea and this 40-year-old plan is the right plan, right?
Correct.
Because
Yeah.
yeah, the China achieved they had insane 20 years, right? Like they in 20 years they 20 years ago China was very different. Like 20 years, it's so little, right? No, no, no. I done. I just random friendly chat. Just random friendly chat. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about crypto, but like there is so much. I actually I like to chat about the other things, if I
It's
have
all
nothing to say.
interconnected. Like when I start talking about the psychedelics and Hamilton pharmacopoeia, it still relates to crypto because crypto, after all, is just a psychology game to me.
Yeah,
And this is all tied into, well, maybe not the politics side, but when we're talking about Hamilton and some of the pharmacology, it's all related to your psychology and how you.
and the problem is that I think too much about this and about crypto markets, and I'm trying to understand the human behaviors, how the trends will turn, and that's why I probably never do the best decisions that I meant to be regarding crypto. But
It,
just yeah,
I was just going to say, and no one knows the tops, no one knows the bottoms, no one knows exactly what the crypto market's going to do. So I think it's like you said, you're just never going to be able to call the top. Maybe you're just better off not trying to. I don't know. I'm not to get too deep into crypto right when we were talking about something else, but it sounds like Retta has pulled his money back into stable coin and is now sitting on the sidelines, and maybe that's the right play. Um,
I don't
and then
know,
I
like because sorry for stopping you, right?
no go ahead, please.
Because at the end of the day, I still believe uh, Reda trying to think for himself, right? It's
Right,
Reda is slightly younger than me and is still relatively new, but how he judged someone like relatively new to professional investor, he did good chunk of research, right? He did really
right.
good chunk of research uh considering the Pedram is here, I think.
Awesome.
Um, he
Oh,
did
nice.
like good chunk of research, considering some projects, but I actually don't look at this at all in terms of if it's good opinions or bad opinions. So I don't know if Reda does good decisions. Maybe he's a little bit too bullish.
Right.
I
So
always
like
think I'm
last
the best.
well,
That's
we were
the
talking off of on Twitter the last time. I pulled up a bunch of my stakes and unstaked and started unbonding a lot of LPs. And now that time has come, and I basically restaked most of my stakes that I unstaked and probably going to just reinvest. And when I said that to you, you said you're going to just end up holding dust. And that was why I probably, that was the trigger that made me want to unstake, because it does make sense to try and just pull profits, wait for the market to dump, and then buy in at a cheaper price. But part of me just wants to stake and stay stake because I like accumulating. And if I don't really need the profits, and if the market's going to come back in a year or 2 years, then I would rather just continue to accumulate. But I don't know if that's the right play or not.
I kind of think the same. So, Pedram, we are actually chatting politics, but some people draw us to
Everyone
crypto.
wants to talk crypto.
I understand that's the channel, but today's video is not about crypto. It's actually about the politics, the subject we're starting. Pedram is in Cyprus. Oh, Pedram. And what I was, I unstake my Atom, right?
Right.
I told you, and I think I did the wrong decision. Not sure, because you stake your secret, right?
I stake. Yeah, I think I stake 6 coins on Kepler, or 5 coins.
That's very little then.
I stake 5
I
different
thought
coins. I stake Osmo, Cosmos, Secret, Juno. Again, I'd have to look. But yeah.
Dave, it meant to be about
Osmos,
nachos.
Akash, Crypto.org, Juno are all staked.
So what did I do?
And Luna. And now I have Luna in liquidity pool now.
Yeah, so the day before the dump, I was like, in December, maybe we dump, I will unstake the atoms. And I realized how stupid decision it was, because I think at the end of the day, I'm probably not going to catch it and I'm not going to sell it. So why I'm not going to just stake it and leave it and potentially catch the airdrops? So after I unstake it, I went to see the airdrops, right? I already pending like 6 airdrops, so that's okay. But then I'm checking, because there is the project Shade Protocol, right?
Yep.
Have you heard of this?
Nope.
So Shade Protocol, I think you even follow them on Twitter, because it's secret project.
Yeah, I follow all the secret projects, but I haven't been up to speed on that.
So there is Shade Protocol project, and they're gonna do airdrop. And I think the policy for the airdrop, you have to stake secret or Atom or Luna or Osmo every day between 5th of October till 13th of December.
Right.
So I'm not gonna get it, because I unstake it 2nd December.
And you only stake Cosmo?
I stake Cosmos and Juno.
Oh yeah, Omniflix.
And I do liquidity pool with Osmosis. And I have also Handshake, right? So I'm going to miss on this. And then also 12th December, there is the... on the phone, I heard Pedram, the app doesn't work very well. What I was thinking, and also 12th December is the Vega upgrade of the I think is upgrade of the Cosmos network. And what happens? It's quite common that during the upgrade, the smaller projects take the snapshot of the holders or stakers on the who participate on the network, and they do the airdrop. So I might miss on potential few airdrops on 12th of December. And I realize after my unstaking period will finish in 13 days, I'm going to restake all the atoms again. So I'm not gonna try to catch it. It's at close $24. I'm thinking how low it can go, probably to 0. How I believe low it can go, if it can go below 5. I wouldn't bet on below 5, because before pandemic started, it was actually trading at 5-6. So and also I want to add one thing. If you let me go to crypto, the CoinGecko. I was thinking like which coins can fail, right? Because like it's about going your crypto to dust, right? Will Bitcoin go
the fear, right?
So will Bitcoin go to dust? I don't think so. I think it can trade at 20K. It could. Will Ethereum go to dust? It will not. But the question is, can Solana disappear? I think it could. Can Cardano disappear? I think Cardano can disappear. Solana, maybe Solana could disappear. Can Polygon disappear? Maybe, because it's all just like, kind of Ethereum. But like, I'm not sure about this, but I'm sure about Bitcoin. Ethereum will not disappear. And
For
I
sure.
hold Cosmos, right? So the theory is, will Cosmos disappear? And I'm not sure if we will have utility and the Cosmos will disappear, but there is so many chains being built on Cosmos. There's already like 50 of them connected via
Right.
IBC, maybe not 50, maybe a little less, but it's believed that in few months we will have few hundred chains connected, or within a year. So then can the project disappear with such an impact of independent chains here? So I think maybe Cosmos will not disappear. So it's actually not such a bad idea. Even if we go through heavy dump, the Cosmos would make sense.
I think so too. And then I would just dollar cost average during the dump and accumulate more coins. I think that for me, that's really the goal, is to accumulate and not trying to call the top. I think I'll just get wrecked trying to call the top.
Yeah, so I think if I will have extra 5k, next year, I will dump in Atom if it will dump. And then if I will have another 5k, I will dump, Cryptoland politics. Let's talk about Biden sniffing habits. I think it's related to the son, Biden's son, right? He was
Hunter.
Biden Hunter. He was sniffing habits. Yeah, it's fine. It's I mean, I'm not fan of Biden. Just I just don't like his personality. But maybe it's because he's so old.
He's so old. He's been in Washington for so many years too, and I mean they all are. I mean on both sides of Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters, Chuck Schumer, Mitch
Bernie Sanders.
McConnell. I mean they're all been there 40 years. They've done nothing.
Yeah.
They've turned our country inside out. So
Yeah.
it is definitely time for a changing of the guard. The problem is I just don't see any viable replacements. Like, who's going to be the Republican that's going to oppose a 90-year-old president in 2 years?
Donald Trump, but he's
yeah, is he coming back? I mean, I just feel like so much of his reputation has been besmirked that I don't know if he can get close to that 50%. I know he has a strong 35% of the vote in this country, but to get him over the top, he's got to get that middle, which I think he used to have, but I don't know if that's still there or not.
Yeah, I'm looking from the distance and seeing, how the politics change. You see, Kamala Harris doesn't seem to be doing very well. Biden doesn't seem to be doing very well. I don't know if there is any candidate on the Democratic side, because if they will do Kamala Harris, let's say, I think she's such a no personality that I don't think she would have the chance. And Biden has really strong. Trump actually, like, I don't want to judge him, but he has really strong following, like really,
absolutely,
really
his
devoted
base is
following,
very devoted. Yeah, cultish.
And I think actually that this people with the influence, like even Joe Rogan, Jacko Willink, and Jacko Willink, the ex Navy SEAL, he's often guest in the podcast. I believe if they will have the choice in 3 years, they could probably think of. I don't want to speculate what would they think, but I see the sentiment towards Trump is getting better and better, regardless of like if he's bad or wrong. But I don't know. I think on the there's some young people, like there's Ivanka Trump, maybe one day.
Yeah, she could have a career. I agree with that.
I think she does seem like she would like to have career in politics. They all strongly involved.
Absolutely.
I was quite interested in Jared Kushner before, because he seemed such a strong person behind the scenes in the first campaign, that I was like, yeah, like he does something good there, I guess. But
I think that's kind of funny too. Being in crypto, you find your biggest advocates are on the conservative side. Are the states that support crypto are also conservative states, Florida, Texas. So it's kind of funny for me that I see crypto as this really kind of this right wing space where
Yes, it is.
you talk about
And
like
I
Ben Armstrong and a lot of his buddies are all right wing conservative Christians. And again,
yeah,
it's just not the side of the aisle I find
it
myself on. But you almost have to try and figure out a middle ground where we can all align so that we can support crypto, come together on that issue, even though politically a lot of people are across the board.
it
And that's kind of a interesting. Like, I don't know if crypto has a lobbyist group here or if we're well organized. But I think that's one thing that really needs to be addressed, that if
yeah.
you want to have good crypto legislature, you got to organize and get your lobbyists in there and start spending some money in Washington.
This is so cool you say it, because I have one problem. It's hard for me to identify with wider crypto community. And the
Right.
reason for that, because despite I understand many crypto people say like, hey, I'm not conservative, I'm like, I'm just a voice of reason, I'm libertarian, but I follow people on of all sides on Twitter, and my feed is 60% conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Like this is like, and it's quite like, there's so many voices on how to handle pandemic in the crypto, but they handle this on one particular way. That's what they would believe that is good. How to handle finance, how to um yeah. So I think the crypto is leaning towards one certain ideology, and I wish it would be maybe a little bit diversified,
Likewise. Yeah. Likewise.
there is like, all my feeds recently was about the anti passports protests in Europe. This all crypto community, that's what they want to say. They bring the names of Hitler, of Nazis, and I don't really resonate with this rhetoric. I'm like, just cool down a little bit, let's it's not that dramatic as you see it. This is the problem, because I can't really identify as much with this community, and I believe I'm strong crypto believer.
Absolutely.
But I also want to, because it's like, what the mainstream media says is wrong, regardless if it's science backed or not. But what the crypto community says is right, regardless if it's science backed or not.
Right.
And I saw that regarding many issues, they biased papers. So they will bring the science paper that backs their ideology, right? So
Right.
and I don't like it. There was concern, but I think it will censor itself when we would have like fully decentralized web. I'm kind of scared, because I see how easily, like, people who are not so much like internet savvy as I am, how easy can catch some rhetoric,
Right.
regardless if it's right or wrong.
And even research can be manipulated. Again, going
Yeah,
back to human psychology, when you set up an experiment, you kind of set it up so it will prove your hypothesis that the human brain just doesn't want to be wrong. So even when you're doing research, you have to be diligent not to interpret your evidence in the light that you want to see it. And it happens all the time that just in the way you interpret your data can be
yeah,
misleading.
yeah. The Aidan also, we have a lot of, we can respond. Ukraine border. What's on the Ukraine border? Any idea?
What? Well, I know that Ukraine and Russia have been going back and forth.
Because in 2015, oh,
No, recently,
tensions. That's why
but
they were posting about Ukraine on the Twitter recently. Right.
that
Oh,
Russia built up forces on the border. You share a
yeah.
border with
Oh,
Belarus, right?
yeah. I'm on the other side. I never been to
You're in the
Belarus, and
southwest of Poland.
yeah. So I'd love to visit Ukraine, for example. I never been to Belarus, and so yeah, it's very opposite side. In Poland, there is now a lot of Ukrainians. They start immigrating since 2015. and I think we may be lucky for them because it sustained the workforce like very good. So this kind of every time there is more chaos there, I think it works good on the Poland because we are quite of like we are the first country here in European Union, so we will be getting West support for that. But yeah, so I notice now that there is some tensions. Um, I wasn't following, but yeah, it started in 2015. We heard a lot with the Crimea. Russia took over Crimea legally. No
Right.
one reacted. So the question is, will we see the develop into some war? The war will not develop. The Russia is so strong, and the issue with Ukraine is Ukraine doesn't really have very strong allies because Ukraine is not part of European Union. It's kind of ally of European Union, but the question is, if Russia would do something, does European Union will do something except putting sanctions on Russia, right? So I think Ukraine is in a horrible position, and consider like Poland and Ukraine 30 years ago they were starting from the same level. Uh, we are not on the same level economically now anymore because they had the years of horrible how to say when politics steal money. I mean, how to call the corruption.
Right. Fraud.
Every country has, but Ukraine had insane levels. Then the influence of Russia and stuff like this. I
Do you, as living in Poland, does that concern you? Russia's influence? Do you ever worry about?
no no
It
never.
seems like Russia gets a pass on everything. Like, although they're a
Oh, but
world power, but we don't. We talk way more about China than we ever do about Russia. Like, Russia doesn't seem to be a big
yeah, but I
player.
think for Europe, the Russia is should be more important here. For US, probably now China. But you know what pisses me off when I'm abroad, like the people try, like they often say, like to I'm not sure if I said that before, probably I did. um when I have, like, let's say American friend, and he not met someone Russian, he would come to me and, hey, I met the Russian. Yeah, because they think that we are friends, maybe, like blood
Right.
brothers.
Right.
Or but it couldn't be further from the truth, because actually Russians and Polish, they don't really share much of a friendship.
Right.
And it could be maybe political, like, because Polish politics and Russia, they hate each other just so much. Like, we are, when there was our politicians died in 2009, there was plane crash in Russia and top politicians in Poland die. The rhetoric was it was Russians. They did it. Like that we hate Russia, right? So there is never friendship with Russia since the communist times. There is no friendship. So every time Russia will get close, this is like, it's not that the Poland would let them. Of course, the Russia is much more powerful, but the Poland is part of European Union, and so I think we have stronger ties than Ukraine, but I don't think Russia would try to do something to Poland, because Ukraine is much more destabilized. Belarus, these are the empty states with no support, basically, right? So that's the issue. And so in the
You're
long
not on
term,
the euro though, right?
we didn't we did not uh, we didn't change the
Convert.
currency to euro. Yeah, we part of European Union since 2004. I wonder. And Poland benefited a lot. There's a lot of, yeah, since May 1st, there's many people who doesn't like European Union, but the truth is Poland benefited massively from this, because actually Poland is the fastest growing economy of European Union in the past 15 years. It changed a lot. We are not Germany, but it seems we do just okay. And so yeah, like if I would be Ukrainian, then Russia is the problem. But what's happening then? Like, I think because of this pressure, many of Ukrainians, they don't see the future there. Maybe.
Tell me how you ended up in Hong Kong in the first place. Were you and your girlfriend dating in Europe, and then moved back there with? Did you move back there with her?
So I met my girlfriend in UK because I was working in the bar in UK, right?
Yep. And you were dating a girl, and she was a friend of a friend, right? She was a friend of your girlfriend's.
Yes, I was dating the Tiger, and she was 10 years older than me, and she had a boyfriend back in Thailand. She was crazy, but anyway, I met Yui, which was my friend at the time, and we stayed in touch. And then I left UK. I because I broke up with previous girlfriend, for which I moved to UK, and I moved to Poland, and I stayed in touch with Yui. We were friends for the last few months there. I stayed in touch with Yui, and then I visited her in UK. And around over 1 year later, my online work started going better, so that brings some positivity. And we set up with Yui that maybe we travel somewhere. So we decided we will travel together to Norway, and being separated at this time, we decided we are going to be couple now. So I knew her as the close friend, very close friend for past year. We were talking nearly every day, and I knew her for quite a few months, spending time together in UK. We decided we will travel together to Norway, and we got so close that we're like, oh, we couple. So when we met in Norway, we already were couple, So and then I meant to fly after like week of being in Norway back to Poland, but I took plane with her back to UK, and I stayed for like 2 weeks there. Went for 2 months to Poland, and then for 2 or 3 months back to UK to stay, because I was working from home and she was finishing university, and she wanted to stay in UK but didn't know if she can find a job. She finished university. I got mental issues. So she went back to Hong Kong. I went back to Poland, but 2 months later, when I got better, I visited because we still couple. So I flew to Hong Kong for 3 weeks to visit her when she already went back, and I loved that. So I flew back to Poland, and a month later, I flew back again to Hong Kong, and I stayed there. So that's how I ended up in Hong Kong. Like she finished uni in UK. Yeah.
And your girlfriend is native Hong Kong?
She's native Hong Kong. She's born and raised in Hong Kong. Yes.
And you lived with her family when you were there?
So I rented place from her mom. I got a cheaper price. So this is let me find this actually. I'm going to show you my first place. I think it's here. I have channel called Room Service with 20 subscribers.
What? A secret Marcin channel?
I have so many channels, but don't subscribe.
I saw that the Oracle has like 15 YouTube channels.
So I went there when I went to visit her for 3 weeks. I rented this room from her mom. So this is subdivided flat. Okay, what is subdivided flat? It is if you have Hong Kong flat in Hong Kong that have like 400 square feet or 40 square meters, you knock down the
wall.
You knock down the walls and you make 3 small flats inside.
Yeah.
So I rented one from her mom when I went there for 3 weeks, and after I went there back, I rented this again, and I paid 5,000 Hong Kong dollars, which is $1 is 7.8 Hong Kong dollars. So that was like 700 US. But it was cheaper because you can rent this room. It's 8 square meters, so 80 square feet for 700 US. Normally it would go for like now it's probably 6,000 or 7,000 Hong Kong. So it's like 900 US maybe. So this was my
80 square feet.
this was my first Hong Kong apartment, right? You have
Wow.
bed, you have a closet, you have desk. I talk
Yeah.
something here, but I don't.
It's a little bigger than a cell. I think cells are about 54 square
Yeah,
feet.
so subdivided flat is quite common in Hong Kong, but there is also misconception because people think that's everyone live like this. No,
Yeah.
these are subdivided flat. You cannot sell, and this is my toilet, right? And here is the hall, so you can see this is one flat.
You're not screen sharing.
Oh, I'm not.
No.
All right, so like, oh shit, sorry. So I was keep sharing. This is my.
There you go.
So this is the flat, right? So this is misconception because not everyone lives this way, and you cannot sell this unit. You
Right.
can
You got
only
it.
sell the whole
The
flat.
whole unit, right.
Yes, which is 3 flats in this case, right? So
Yep.
yeah, I had the bed, the
And you
closet.
had your own toilet, your own shower
desk.
and toilet.
Yes, so this is the room, and you have small place, which is the shower with the toilet, right? And here is the hall, right? So this is entry to the flat, and after the entry, you have 3 separate flats. If you like peace, maybe not necessarily would enjoy it. So that's how they look. This is exactly with the entry. This is how the old Hong Kong building looks like.
Yeah.
And as you enter, this is the hall, and then you go to your tiny flat, right? So that's how they look.
Wow.
It doesn't probably look nice, but
It's not terrible.
It's
just small.
Yes, so
it's like being in college living in a dorm, if you ask me.
Yes, it's like this. That was the first place, and that's quite common in subdivided flat, that you have toilet, and above that you have shower, right? Because you don't have space, so you can shit and shower at the same time.
Yes, you can. Is there just a drain on the floor then?
Yeah, my little kitchen here. It's all in this room. So I think it was 80 to 100 square feet, maybe 100, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, if you're by yourself, it's one thing. If you're trying to live in there with a family of 5, it's
there was the next door was family of 4.
Yeah, that seems pretty tight.
So and
that's just how the rest of the world is. I mean, you go to Mexico and people
that's how the housing complex.
Yeah,
right? This is the old one.
Yeah.
No, this is only 13 floors because this is old one. So this building is like 50-year-old, which is old building.
Okay.
But yeah, and the thing about what else about the Hong Kong flats? But this is private building because Hong Kong has a lot of public housing as well. You need to 60% of housing is public, I think. So
is that free government housing or rent controlled?
You would pay like maybe $300 a month for this.
So it's like rent
it's
controlled.
Small flats, like 300 square feet or 250, and you only eligible if you are poor, like if you don't have high earnings and you are Hong Kong. If you are a Hong Konger, like if you are or like if you have the residence, like full residence, you cannot be foreigner. But there are public housing. Like there is one public housing that is known to be rich public housing, where in garage there is Ferraris. So it's Hong Kong. It's a special place. It's sometimes you have poor rich people there. That's how it works there. But
so, what do you think of this idea that Hong Kong doesn't belong to the Chinese? That the treaty was actually signed with the Taiwanese. There was no communist when the treaty for Hong Kong was signed.
So I was saying that, but this is exactly what the West decided to do. It's anecdotal, right? Because when Hong Kong was, by the way, what is Hong Kong, right? Like, can I don't know if it interests people, but I love to talk about this subject, right?
Well, it's your show. You talk about whatever you want to talk about.
So you go Hong Kong, right? This map of Hong Kong. So the thing that the British took over first is only this part, this island, and it was taken in early 1800s.
Yep.
And they had this Tsimsha Peninsula, a little, and that was it. And then in 1999, they decided to sign the treaty, and they decided to rent this space for 100 years.
In 1899.
1899.
Yep.
But
And
when
there
it
was
comes,
no communist at that time, right? Or at
no,
least it was
no, that
small.
no, there was not nationalists. But the Hong Kong was taken by force before. So this was leased. This already belonged to, so they signed the lease on new territories and Kowloon. And then in 60s, and this is anecdotal, I heard the Hong Kong had the British had the plan to give independence to Hong Kong, but apparently when I don't know, it's anecdotal. It's the friend from South China Morning Post was telling this to me. That British did consider giving the independence to Hong Kong, but the China would invade right away. So that's out of the question. And they knew they will have to pass it, but also how you pass new territories and Kowloon, when Hong Kong and Kowloon got integrated together now. So there was, okay, we will give away everything. So they signed the treaty and they pass it to communist China. And how they passed to communist China, because the Taiwan and communist China claimed they are Chinese, and in the 670s or something, 72, the United Nations decided to recognize the communist China and do not recognize, world doesn't recognize Taiwan. There is no
Taiwan as an independent nation.
So if they give back to China, there is only one China, right? So that's how it went back to China, from my understanding. If you get chance, you should visit. It's
Hong
great.
Kong,
You
China?
would love it. Hong Kong. You would
Yeah.
love it. Great hikes, great weather, insane food, beautiful skyline.
I just
Great hotels.
I envision Hong Kong as being a place without any nature. I don't know why that's stuck in my head, but
You're so wrong. You're
yeah.
just so wrong. Like, the Hong Kong has one of the most amazing nature. I the beaches in Hong Kong are better than in Thailand.
Wow.
People don't know that. The hikes, the mountains.
Huh. I just feel like it's just an island, a city island, like this giant concrete block.
No, man,
high-rises.
It has 75% of greenery. Let me go through my Instagram. I have some old pictures, so I used to hike a lot at first, right? So yeah, you have a lot of hikes close to the city, like this one, right, with views at the city. Can you see it?
Doesn't even look real. Yeah, it looks incredible.
Yeah. That's pretty much. This is the central in the city, but you have. Let me. So yeah, this all views. This is basically from the hikes above. This is Hong Kong Island. But I want to show you. This is also Hong Kong.
Yeah.
This is in the Lantau Island, right? You have a lot of mountains. This is high, but this is close to the city, Kowloon. This is Hong Kong. And I want to get to more rural areas. So Hong Kong. And this is Hong. So you see how much greenery actually has Hong Kong.
Right.
It's made of the islands. This is Hong Kong. And this cows is also Hong Kong. So yeah, like people envision, this is Hong Kong. This is Sai Kung here. So yeah, you have the city. This is Hong Kong, and this is me in Hong Kong.
Nice.
this all of that. This is Hong Kong. So it it is a city, and but the urban area is 25% only. And the
Okay.
issue with the flat supply is because only 7 or 8% of this is residential. So I mean, only 7% of the city is residential area, I think. So this created the problems. Should we talk to people a little bit, because I see less people watching because we talk a lot? So
Whatever you need to
I
do.
don't know. ZK Rollups deposits some ETH into their wallet. So yeah, I think many projects will adapt this in crypto space, that you will be receiving airdrops because to incentivize, the
So, did you see? I don't know if you follow Crypto had Altcoin Daily on his show this morning, and they were pumping Mina Protocol, which was one of your call from months ago. You called out Mina
yeah,
Protocol, and I think it's now finally getting some traction. I haven't followed the price action on it, but you've
yeah, but
it's another one of your great calls from a long time ago. I think if you people would have got into
it's
Mina
around
Protocol,
it's 366. So I saw Mina because it had like, yeah, like it was before dollar, below, just around dollar back then, and it just such a difficult tech that they doing that. I just don't know if it will be successful, and it's super early to speculate on it now, to be honest.
right?
Because I think it's years till they finally will have some product, but it's super promising, a lot of funding. um
And then, yeah, I didn't know what a ZK, the zero knowledge rollup was, but I did some research on that after we talked to Retta and Pedram from last time. And although it's a great idea, um, for me, most of my transactions are on Cosmos, and there's just no need for a zero knowledge
yeah,
rollup on Cosmos, right? I mean,
yeah.
again, it seemed like to me like a band aid for a very big problem.
So
But
that's why I prefer using Cosmos, because it's already some product and it's safer this way. Carlos Perleta said, "Don't fuck around. We, Russia, NATO, and the countries suck America dick for money, and take your vaccines in you ass,
in your ass.
in your ass." Well, I don't force anyone to take them, but I'm grateful that the world has vaccines. That's my
Yeah,
opinion.
likewise.
Like,
I suppose you could take it in the ass. I don't know
yeah,
why you'd
but
want to.
I'm happy for any disease.
Don't
Great
fuck with
invention.
Russia, huh?
Great invention. Oh, Oracle is here. I didn't see. Sorry, Oracle. But I I was watching Oracle recently. Very entertaining. It was
Yeah,
really
I saw
short.
you said that he was kind of entertaining, and so I subscribed to his channel, but I haven't seen any notifications from him.
I was watching him shorting something, and it was like very entertaining. And over time I like him more because I see his community is very active, very passionate, and
And
I like that
definitely been
he's,
a supporter of your show. I see a lot of Oracle people commenting
yeah.
on your videos now, so that's
How I can
fantastic.
be ungrateful, right? I
Yeah,
can't.
yeah, for sure.
I can't.
Even if we have differences in opinions or thoughts, I still think it's a good idea to come together and
Yeah,
talk about these things. I'm not going to hate on you just because we don't agree on something, right? I mean,
yeah.
I would rather,
And the thing I like, he's honest. He seemed like the honest guy,
yeah,
which is pretty cool. Like, I
yeah.
mean, he's like, I like five numbers. I like
He
it.
he owns
And
who he is, right? I mean, he's
yeah,
not
so
trying to be
I like person that doesn't say, "Hey, I'm good boy." He said,
right.
"No." So I
No,
kind of,
yeah, for sure. I mean, and again, trading is a savage game. You have to have a
hmm.
savage mindset if you're going to be successful.
Sorry for nachos again.
No, no problem. But we're
Has to
using
play.
Restream.
Yes, great software. Not
Yeah,
perfect for mobile devices, I heard.
right. I wasn't even sure if you could go live with mobile. I thought you had to be verified for your mobile or
So
have a thousand
I don't know
thousand
if
subscribers.
Carlos is Russian. Would you assume he's Russian?
I would not assume Carlos as a Russian name. I would think
Yeah,
Carlos is more of
but
a
he say we don't
Spanish.
fuck around, we Russia. So he mean, So actually, there is some sort of stereotype, and because I think many Russians think about themselves that are like very strong motherfuckers, but in fact, there is no differences between people. You are as strong as American people and as strong as Polish people. There is the UFC fighter Jan Błachowicz, right? And they like to use legendary Polish power, legendary Polish. There is no legendary Polish power.
There is
It's
one.
myth. So if you think
No.
that Russia is strong motherfuckers, some of them, yes. But there is
Of
also
course.
many skinny small alcoholics without teeth.
Right.
So I don't like when countries say, yeah, we are strong. Like, I mean, who is the best boxer now? In heavyweight, Tyson Fury. British men, stronger. Right? The Ukrainians men dominate sport of boxing. Is about election we were talking
Right.
before.
There was a Polish wrestler when I was growing up that I loved. It was Ivan Putski. You're probably too young to know Ivan Putski,
Don't know.
One of the greatest professional wrestlers ever.
No,
he was the original Polish Power.
What was it? The real wrestling or WWE?
What do you mean? Is it real? I don't see you.
The WWE. You mean the WWE?
It was the AWA. It was this was 1980s. It was the AWA, which was the precursor to the WWF, which becomes the WWE. But this was back way before there was even WWF.
Yeah, Chris said that the crypto community very similar to MMA community, very like right wing. But I always say to people, I'm conservative. Like I always actually say, like, because I guess like I like low taxes, and I'm like I couldn't care less what people like. I actually, I would like legalize drugs. I mean, to me, like I sexually, I actually don't see any issues whatsoever in any sexual way for human beings. So that would make me very liberal. But but the liberals, I can't be friends because I have completely different opinions than them. Like, when I hang out with very left people, it's, there is that, they do hate money, like people and money. At least the ones I would hang out with. But right. Chris defines himself as the left, and he's fine. Like, he's very good, sensible opinions, because he's quite successful in what he does.
Again, I have very liberal social views, but I like money. I don't want to pay taxes. And again, the whole thing with taxes, I mean, even if we took 100% of all the billionaires' money in this country, we could only run the government for like 6 months. It'd be like $4 trillion. It's not enough. Taxing people is not going to solve our problems. What we need is a government that can live on a budget the way we do,
And many people don't get the fact that it's simply assets. It doesn't mean the liquid cash.
Right. Yeah, most rich people aren't liquid in cash at all. They're cash poor on purpose, so they don't get.
And I'm so grateful for Jeff Bezos. I like to use Amazon. I like to use your Amazon US, me, Polish person. And do you know how many people Amazon employ now in Poland? There is so many factories, and people complain that it's not good. It's not good. What they said, environment, but it's a job.
It's a job.
It's a job.
It's a crazy. I have friends that work for Amazon. It's kind of crazy. They've got like every moment of your day kind of like planned out, timed out. They know exactly how long it takes to go from point A to point B, to grab the thing off the shelf, to walk back to your station, to fulfill an order. And if you're not on point every day, then you're going to have a little coach and counseling with your manager.
That was exactly the complaints, but it's a job.
And then one day you get crazy and start shooting up the place, and that's the problem.
And I love ordering stuff from Amazon.
Yeah, I love ordering stuff on Amazon. I love
It's
it when it's like you can order it now and it'll be there in 3 hours.
well, not
You
not here. It will take
no,
week or weeks to Poland because
weeks.
but depends on the stuff I order. I tell you because
Yeah,
for like regular things we don't have. Amazon is not popular. We have thing called Allegro in Poland, which is great. But if it comes to the books, English books, and especially I'm trying to hunt for old collectible. I ordered this one recently. It's my favorite book, so I'm going to tell people what's my favorite book. Where is it?
okay,
But
we're
it's
getting
not
the
the one I
books
was
going.
looking for. I
What do you
So
got
this
there?
is Franny and Zoe by J.D. Salinger. Do you know
Okay,
J.D.
nice.
Salinger?
Of course, Catcher in the Rye. Every American has to read Catcher in the
I
Rye in
I
10th
love it.
grade. It's a great book. Let me show you.
So
This is not my
it's
favorite book, but
yeah, it's most impactful writer for my life. So, but it's not this because it's the one of the first British editions. So I ordered another one, and I think the one that I ordered now, paid $100, is the first US edition on Fran and Zoe, which is very impactful book on me. So for collectibles is great. Dave, your grandma maybe make good pierogi, but my mom makes really delicious. I would invite you, or maybe not because you're a stranger to me, but I know you from my channel. But pierogi, you have great grandma.
so I know you like to collect signed books too. I have a signed book here. You know Ken Kesey? Have you heard of Ken Kesey? One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
wrote.
of course.
So
Yeah, I'm a huge fan.
he wrote the first chapter of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest on LSD, and
And you
when
have
when
signed
I was
edition. Tell me you have signed. No shit.
yeah,
Wow.
so if you, I don't know, it's kind of hard to read, but my
It doesn't
buddy actually
matter.
got this signed for me when I was in jail, and so that I'm doing terrible
Yeah,
with the camera here.
it's
It says
fine.
to Paul,
Yeah,
walk slow and drink a lot of water. Ken Kesey.
yeah.
Again, I was in jail when he came through to do his book signing, and my buddy went out and told him, "Hey Ken, my buddy's in jail. Can you sign this book for him?" And he did, and
That's
so I got a
cool.
little. Yeah, it's sweet. And
Yeah.
again, I love Ken Kesey. I love his writings.
Yeah.
And
How
again,
do you like the movie? How do you like the movie?
What movie? Was there a Ken Kesey movie?
Fly Over Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh, the movie. Oh, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Yeah, it was good. The book is better, of course, but
Yeah,
Jack Nicholson and does
I
a
was
great
huge
job.
fan of Jack Nicholson. Huge fan.
Yeah, I think it's one of his best roles, really.
Yeah, I recommended the movie to my girlfriend, and she just watched it like a few months ago for the first time.
And so, and again, Ken Kesey was one of the original what they call psychonauts. He was he didn't discover LSD, but he certainly popularized it on the West Coast. And you had Timothy Leary on the East Coast, and they drove a school bus from the West Coast to the East Coast, tripping on acid.
Yeah, I'm sold. I need to try acid. Well,
yeah, I think you should be careful, like with some of your. I just worry about your mental condition. That
I'm already 30. Apparently I can't go worse now.
No, you don't think so? I just worry about you doing something like that and then ending up in like a big depression or
worse schizophrenia, developing schizophrenia.
Yeah,
but I'm already 30. I'm already 30. I did not develop schizophrenia. So would I develop it? Probably not. No.
Probably not. I agree. I mean, I would think there would be a very small chance, but I wouldn't start out with LSD. I would start out with some more mild
mushrooms. A lot in my area.
A lot easier. I was seeing that Amsterdam has like a mushroom truffle that is still like legal. Like at one point, mushrooms were legal in Amsterdam, and then when a bunch of tourists got sick and did stupid shit, they kind of outlawed it. But they didn't outlaw this psilocybin truffle, and you're supposed to be able to get it legally in Amsterdam.
Yeah. The truffles in Amsterdam are legal.
Yeah. You go there and eat them, I suppose, and trip out. Have you ever done nitrous oxide?
I have not, but
at the dentist or anything.
But it's the laughing gas, right?
Yes. Yep. It's again here. It's kind of like a hippie drug,
So
people a
my
party
flatmate
thing.
from Hong Kong, they were doing nitric oxide all the time, but I was like, sometimes we would see three of us, the two of them would be doing this, and I was like,
Yeah,
huh, thank you. I just, but it was already, I was becoming antisocial and sliding down, so I actually, this is the time when I remove
I I
anything.
don't want to say it's a psychedelic, but it behaves similarly to a psychedelic that the nitrous oxide experience is kind of similar to a psychedelic experience. And the nice
Have
thing
you heard?
is that it goes
Yeah,
away almost immediately. As soon as you start breathing air again, the effects wear off.
yeah.
So if you don't like it, you can, be free of it very quickly. But
They would say it's like rush in the head, my
yeah,
friends.
yeah,
Very like rush in the head is.
yeah. It's an interesting experience. But again, if it's something that you did and didn't enjoy, I would say you're going to have a small chance of enjoying psychedelics. If you
Yeah.
do nitrous and you enjoy the feeling, or are at least
So
comfortable with it, you're probably going to have a better chance.
have
Uh,
you have you heard of xenon gas?
I haven't. I just someone told me we were talking about Hamilton Pharmacopoeia, and I guess
He has
he
one
does a
episode
Xeon.
on
Yeah, I
xenon.
haven't got to it yet. I'm on season 2, episode 4, I think, right now.
So I have 3 hours drive to Prague, and I wonder if I should try this.
The Xeon.
They,
I
they,
have
they are
no
legal
opinion
in
on it.
Prague. They have xenon
Is-
therapy, but
The
it's
other
like,
thing I,
pseudoscience because they built extra science to it.
yeah,
But it's the you will
I
see
have
the
to watch
episode.
it.
It's so funny. It's just so
I
funny.
have I have no idea what Xeon gas is, or how it affects you,
So
but
it's
it's
apparently
certainly. Go ahead.
in existence, but in such a small quantities, and it's considered would be perfect um, anes- uh, anesthesia gas, right?
Yeah.
It's very rare molecule, but it exists in the not sure if the universe or something, and it makes people very euphoric. So, but the same, you breathe it in, they take it down, and you just want to go back to it. You
Hmm.
know?
I found it fascinating, all the DMT stuff. We were talking about that a little bit, about the 5-methoxy.
Yeah. So you
And
said 5-meth oxy. It's not
yeah,
5-MeO DMT, right?
yeah, 5-methoxy DMT. That's the active substance we're talking about.
Oh, okay, fine.
It's just 5-MO, I think, is the abbreviated street name. I've
Oh
always
yeah,
known it as
5-methoxy.
5-methoxy. Yeah,
5-methoxy.
5-MO.
Yeah.
And then and the Sonoran Toad. That first episode was filmed in my backyard. The season 2, episode 1 of Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia.
Oh, so you watched this one?
Yeah. I bought it
And
yesterday.
I love this episode.
Oh man, that's where I live. That's literally my backyard. Is the Sonoran? I live right in the middle
It
of
was
the
the
Sonoran
guy
Desert.
who. This is the episode where the guy got absolutely like out of control when he.
Yeah, he fishes out. Like, why would you take a hit standing up? I mean, I don't get that. Like, you
Oh
have
yeah,
a
no, but
high chance of falling on your face, and you're still going to take a hit standing up.
but there's other one, the one that was very shaky and screaming.
Yeah, that's kind of the common. I mean, when you watch a lot of these videos, that's like 50% of the reactions seem to be like this violent, what I'd call fishing. Like a fish out of water, where you're flopping around, flopping and groping, which doesn't look enjoyable. And again, when it was 25 years ago when I smoked 5-MO.
Oh, so that was like super early.
Yeah. And again,
he go back to this episode again. And it's amazing episode in the season 3.
And there's another one in season 2 where he goes and visits a DMT guide.
I love this episode.
Yeah, they're like laying in blankets and beds taking hits. And that seems like the right way to do it. And it seems like the experience, like when he does it and when his the people on that episode do it, they're having a much more pleasurable time with it. Like, I'm not going out into the middle of the desert and taking a hit and flopping around in the sand. That just seems like a miserable time.
But that the people believe is that's how they're supposed to do it. And this is the issue.
Yeah. And again, so here's the thing, and too, the same thing with the peyote episode. Like, there's this ceremony tied to it and this reverence, and they treat it like a religion. And again, for me, I'm not a religious guy. I'm
Yeah,
more interested in just the pharmacological effects and how it changes our perceptions and our consciousness. Um, I don't believe that it connects you to a spirit world or to the angels or to aliens.
yeah,
But that seems to be like the main perception. And again, I'm not trying to criticize that at all, but that's just not me. I'm more just into the chemistry. You
yeah.
know
I
what
agree. I'm
what's going on
fascinated.
chemically.
So let's say, look, I didn't try the psychedelic drugs, right? I love watching this because I love how chemistry is presented there in this episode about DMT. By the way, we talk about Hamilton's pharmacopoeia. We talk
Correct.
about the TV show Hamilton's pharmacopoeia. So it's, let's say, chemistry show focused on psychedelic drugs, I would say. So this episode about DMT, this guy with this mask of three eyes, right?
Yeah.
It looks like
Yeah,
he'll be some dickhead, but he was
he
such
was
a
a
cool and was
yeah.
very speaking. He was very fascinated about the chemistry, and this is what I love to see.
Did it not
That's
want you to build a home lab at your house? Don't you want to build a chemistry lab now after
yeah, and
watching
it's
that?
so
Like I'm
cool,
like,
and you
I
create
could
the
do
thing.
that. Yeah, we could.
Yeah, it's
So
amazing.
again, as an explorer and an adventurer, all these things are really fascinating to me. And again, tying back into crypto, I remember Oracle mentioned that he's taking, I don't know if you want to call it a chemical or a drug, that
Yeah,
he related to,
Carlos.
expansion of the mind and
Expansion of the mind. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and to the movie Limitless, where
The yeah.
certain chemical or drugs going to unlock the
What was it?
potential of your brain. What was the program? The
No, what
movie he
was the
referred to?
drug? Did he mention the
I
name?
forget the name of the drug, and I thought you knew it, but it wasn't something that I had heard of. But I've heard
I
of
have
this
this
kind of
live.
thing
I might
before.
check
Like,
and
yeah,
search
you
it.
have to go back to live and check. But he was taking a substance. I think he was saying he was intermuscularly injecting
Meth. Meth.
some kind of brain
That
chemical,
expands your mind. Yeah.
crystal meth. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just not for it's not for me. I just don't.
Diagon.
Nothing good has ever come of
Yeah.
it.
Let's check some comments. What about Taiwan situation? So yeah, this is status quo. The technically Taiwan doesn't exist, but it exists. It's like normal country for the Taiwanese people, but on international stage, even United States doesn't recognize Taiwan. It
Right.
does, but it doesn't.
And
Like
again, the Taiwanese are the Han, but they were the people that were chased
the
out by the
same.
communists. Like the
Yeah,
communists, Mao chased the Kuomintang all the way across China,
yeah,
and then all the way eventually to Taiwan. And so,
and
for a
uh,
time, the Taiwanese had this sentiment that China
yeah,
is their China, and one day they're going to come and take it back, right? But now you've had a few generations passed, and that sentiment, I think, has
yeah,
died down. That the Taiwanese
and
don't see themselves as so separate from China.
they speak Mandarin, but some of them also speak Fujian, which is the province not that far from Taiwan in China, I think, which is often considered it's Taiwanese language, maybe Fujian with some dialect. Yui Mam is also from Fujian, so Yui Mam could communicate with some very local Taiwanese. Um, cool place. I was in Taiwan, but very short. What did I do in Taiwan? Very super nice people, and I think the Taiwanese girls are considered the best looking Chinese girls ever. Like the Taiwanese
Yeah,
girls are really like the best looking,
I
like
think
out of the
I would
the
go
region.
Filipino for Southeast Asian beautiful
So
girls.
the Filipinos, East Asians, all considered not good looking in the area there.
Filipino girls,
The
they got
tan, no good, tan, poor. It's like
yeah,
the mate. Hong Kong, like that. This series, so yeah, the tan is not considered good, right?
tan
And they
skin, darker skin. Is that
and
what you're saying?
also they are considered like poor
Yeah,
because it's quite common theme that you will have American older men with young Filipino girl. That's very common.
has been for a long time.
Yeah.
That's been prevalent. And I
So
think that's
so
left over from wars and stuff, right?
and
Yeah.
Hong Kong, actually, Hong Kong has 300, I think 300,000 or 600,000 the domestic workers, and all of them are like Filipino and Indonesian. So this is also this Hong Kong has a lot of like kind of racial distance to it, that the domestic helpers, that's
That
the.
the Filipinos are your servants and your
Yeah,
cooks
but
and your
I would
drivers.
agree the Taiwanese girls slightly taller, that would seem average in China. Yeah, like there's only good things people say about
But
Taiwanese.
I'm just talking about physical beauty. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like the
but I
girls
also
that,
don't feel attracted to the tan. Maybe after I was in Hong Kong, like I used to date Tiger, like, but uh, yeah, I mean, yeah, like I have Filipino friends as well, but yeah, like in the region, and I think that Taiwan was. I would say Taiwan good looking also. Maybe because I spent so much time in Hong Kong, I got influenced by the mindsets and the beauty standards.
right.
But
What do you think about? Have you ever tried the kratom, the kratom? Again,
Kratom from Thailand, as we are in
yeah. Well,
Southeast
again,
Asia. I haven't.
right,
I
Indonesia,
haven't.
the whole region it grows in. But the thing in Thailand is they've made it illegal, so
Oh,
that's why
Indonesians are good. Yeah, Indonesian girls. Some of them I think look good. But anyway,
yeah.
it's
I
um
I mean, as a baseline, all girls look good. I don't care what race
yeah.
they are. Hot girls are hot girls. It doesn't matter if
Have
you.
you been to Southeast Asia?
I haven't. The only places I've traveled to outside the United States are Mexico, Canada, and the Grand Cayman Islands. So, not a
Yeah,
world
Paul,
traveler yet.
Paul, Paul, you are at this age that it's time to go to get yourself Southeast Asian girlfriend.
Like I can get hookers here, and we got great
What
hookers in
hooker?
Mexico.
Paul, no one said hookers. No
What?
one said wife for life.
A wife? I have a wife.
But it's unclear, right?
No, it's not unclear. We talked about it. I told her about the episode where we were
Oh,
discussing my marital status, and
but you
she
don't
kind
live
of told.
together.
We do not live together. She has a
Yeah.
boyfriend. She's lived with the same guy for 6 or
Oh,
7 years. But she told me we made a commitment and it's for life. So I guess we're married and we're
oh.
gonna finish the game.
Just
together.
find yourself girlfriend.
Yeah, I don't want a girlfriend.
Southeast Asian. You'll just send her money once a month sometimes.
And what do I get out of it? Will she do my laundry? I mean, you got to be here to be helpful, right? I don't want to
Like you
just
go
send
to
my.
visit and you get a blowjob.
Yeah, I get a blowy. But again, for and I know you've talked. We joke about it, but I'm not into the exploitation of women. I don't want to go to Cambodia or Thailand and exploit
I was
some
also in Cambodia.
impoverished woman.
Great.
It's a,
Cambodia, one of the best experiences I had.
yeah,
Really,
yeah. I'd
really.
love to go to Cambodia.
Yeah.
I do
I
certainly
don't
want to.
recommend the city. Horrible.
Yeah.
But the countryside, going through the countryside, yeah, it's cool. But you said kratom. I never tried. I was thinking to order the kratom tea, but I think it's actually addictive, despite some claiming it's not.
Yeah, so I think I can actually get kratom here, like it's sold locally. I've seen like kratom shops, but again, because after watching Hamilton's, I just don't like the idea of activating any more opiate receptors in my brain. As you know, I've had a struggle with that, and messing with anything that starts to play with those opiate receptors is probably not a good thing for me. I just fear getting addicted so badly because it's so goddamn miserable coming off of opiates that I never want to have to experience that again. And I don't want to just screw around with something and then end up being sick because I know it takes a few days, but in my mind, I feel like if I did opiates for a day, I would be like stuck again.
I understand.
It's a terrible feeling being physically addicted to opiates.
Yeah.
Absolute pity.
Chris, there is no super chats because I'm demonetized. Because I cannot receive the pin from Google to my Hong Kong address. I'm keep trying, but it's not coming, so they demonetized me. But once I receive the pin, I will monetize my channel again.
Why don't you leave the monetized on and just collect it until
no,
you
they turned off completely.
Oh,
so they demonetized the channel as it's. Don't know why they did like this, because at first it worked, and I was waiting for the pin, but it take too long.
Have you watched Breaking Bad?
Yes, of course. And Sopranos is like Sopranos is one of my favorite show though. Like I like Sopranos more than Breaking Bad.
Huh.
How about you?
Interesting. I would go the opposite, I suppose.
Sopranos is, come on.
Italian Mafia is so like 1990s.
It's the greatest show.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah.
Breaking Bad is so much entertainment, but it's not so much humanity to it. Like it was in Soprano, it was family.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I just didn't really get into Sopranos that much.
I need to rewatch it. Okay.
Yeah, I guess I got to spend a little more time with Sopranos. To be fair, that I haven't watched every episode of every season, but I certainly did with Breaking Bad. I thought Better Call Saul was okay. I love
Better Call Saul. I'm watching it.
I thought the first season was great. The last two seasons, it was kind of depressing and not as fun.
I like depressing shows. Maybe that's
why. I know you're like the anti-fun.
Yeah, like I'm getting attracted to anti-heroes. I like the character that have demons in Breaking Bad. You have it, right? But I don't know,
Jesse, all of them.
Yeah. So what would be the best TV shows? Name me a few that you watched.
The best TV shows that I've watched?
Yeah.
I gotta think about that so I don't say the wrong answer.
Breaking Bad, I would assume, number one.
Yeah, I don't know if that is number one. I guess I'm not.
There's one TV show.
I wasn't prepared for the question.
Yeah, it's fine.
And I just haven't been into television lately. What's the best binge
Not
show?
lately. It's all live.
It's all old, yeah. Let's go back a ways. Let's start with Dexter. Dexter was pretty good. I liked Heroes.
I like Dexter.
Yeah, I heard Dexter's coming back.
Yes.
I don't know if I would say it was the greatest.
It was very entertaining.
Yeah.
It wasn't the greatest, but I enjoyed.
What about Seinfeld? Watched a lot of Seinfeld.
I haven't watched Seinfeld. My girlfriend not watching.
Yeah. Again, it might be you might have had to be in there in the 90s for it to be funny. Sometimes you go back to shows and watch them again and they're just not funny
I
anymore.
like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Larry
David, the co-creator of Seinfeld. I like.
Yeah, what's his name? David.
Larry David.
David. Yeah. He was a writer on Seinfeld. And again, he's very much. I see your guys' personality is very similar in ways. Again, kind of.
I watched it so many years ago.
Relishing in misery.
The top. I need to watch last two seasons. I haven't watched because I watched so many years ago. So I hope when I'm old, I will be rich as him. Probably I will be bald as him as well, but it doesn't matter because when you're rich.
Yeah.
So Chris said, I like The Wire. Chris said The Wire.
The Wire was good, yeah.
So I want to watch The Wire. I haven't watched it. So I think The Wire is the first TV show potentially that started all of the cable TV show saga, right? The Wire is the first one.
I would say Weeds was the first one that really got me into Netflix. That watching Weeds was the first time I really experienced Netflix, and really, I think I binged the whole first season of Weeds in the first night I watched it.
Have you watched 6 Feet Under?
No, I haven't. That's the mortician show, right?
Sorry?
That's a show about a mortician.
Is the mortician the guy who put bodies to the ground?
Yeah.
The funeral house.
Funeral home. Yep. Yeah, that's a mortician. Yeah.
Yeah. And so Sopranos and I think 6 Feet Under like so impactful for me. But I watch many others, right? Breaking Bad.
So, and I think I'm finishing Narcos right now. And again, it's a story I know well, but I thought it was well done. I thought just as a drama to watch, it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, but recently I watched less and less, I think. But
Well,
when I was like, yeah, 18, 19, I watched so much. It was good times to watch.
I have Dish Network, but I left it at the ex girlfriend's house when I moved out, so I only have streaming service here at my house
Yeah.
because I'm still paying the Dish bill over there, and I don't want to have two Dish bills.
Did you? I wonder. Did you watch the Cocaine Cowboys, the original documentary before, like
Of
many years
course,
ago? It was
yeah, both of them. I've
about the
watched
Miami
Cocaine.
lifestyle, all how it changed Miami and
Yeah,
stuff.
and again, Cocaine Cowboys
Yeah,
is it hits home for me personally. So
that's why I'm asking.
hard not to love shows like that because I just lived that lifestyle for so long. Not to glorify my past, but yeah, love Cocaine Cowboys. That's what we did.
You don't glorify the past, but sometimes probably it was like it's good memory. Sometimes maybe not, but
Yeah,
it's like I mean, it's not
it's
good,
ego. It's ego, right?
but it's the
Because
experience that you
yeah,
have over others, and they're like, yeah,
yeah,
I experienced that. I lived
yeah.
this. So
Agreed. But it came
yeah,
at a cost that I wasn't prepared for. So that's the flip side of it is that, yeah, there were some good times. I wouldn't trade the experience, but the impact it had on me and close ones around me was not worth it.
yeah,
And it was not the price I thought I was going to have to pay. So, you know, but you take the good with the bad. Life is just that way that it's not necessarily predictable or explainable, but yeah, it's better to have lived than to have watched other people live a life, right? Like I am happy for all the experiences that I've had in life. It's shaped me who I am, but
yeah.
it came with a cost.
That's what I always think about everything that happened. Like there was like, well, maybe not that. It's hard to compare experience because one shitty experience for one person is different for other person.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade my shitty experiences, right? Like I mean, like I don't want to go through it, but I look with this at this with nostalgia. You know?
Right.
It was shitty, but it's also nostalgic.
Yeah. Well, when you get on the other side of it, that's kind of my point too. Is
Yeah.
like I lived through it, I survived it, so now I can kind of look back and laugh. But
Yeah.
at the time, there was some very desperate times and some very disparaging times that I would not wish upon anyone. But yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade it though, I guess. I mean, some things I guess I wish I wouldn't. There's some mistakes I made that I wish I wouldn't have for sure.
Yeah. Let me answer that to Hussein. Yeah, the headphones are connected to the laptop, but I also have this microphone, Hussein, right? And this is connected via USB.
You have a blue.
Right. I have blue. I want to get more professional mic some point, but I think I sound well on the videos. I edit the
I
audio
think
a
so.
little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe when I will have more professional studio. And Street FLVR. Yes, we all like Lark Davies.
We
Actually, we're all
do.
huge fans of the Lark Davies here.
Yes, we are.
Uh,
Yes, we are. We love old Lurk.
and Chris says the best thing to watch in 2021 is the YouTube channel. Maybe mine. I'm missing
Right.
like recently. I can't find anything good to watch, and I watched Locky and Key on Netflix recently. Now I'm watching Money Heist, the last season. But I'm looking for something, and also I look at nostalgia like with the uh Stranger Things. Have you watched? Not sure.
Love Stranger Things. Yeah.
So I love Stranger Things so much because it's such a great memory in my head. The first season was so impactful. I'm not saying impactful in the direction of the life or anything, but
Right.
I just got to psychiatrist and I got my medications then, and I started for the first time to take medication, and that was including the bromazepam. and this was when Stranger Things came out. So I was like depressed, just starting on medication, feeling like shit, and I spent evenings watching the first season of Stranger Things, and it just felt so good. It just felt just so good to watch. So this is my memory of like watching Stranger Things, right? This is like,
Right.
and the ending, the kind of the childhood romance between Eleven and Mike.
Yeah.
This was so. This was
Feel
the
good.
yeah. This felt good. This was the romantic thing, not romantic thing in in the meaning of love, but this was the storytelling that I wanted. This was the adventure. This was the youth. This was something magical, and I had it that time when I wasn't having good time. So this is why I love Stranger Things.
What
Like
about Harry Potter? Are you a Harry Potter fan?
I watched everything. I have some Harry
You
Potter
don't want to
books.
admit it.
I
you're,
I I
you're a
I love it.
closet fan.
I love it, but the Stranger Things I like more. Okay, like
Yeah, for
I
sure.
know
Okay.
I, but that's probably because of the moment I watch it. I When I was younger, I read all Harry Potter books in Polish, of course, uh, and I was very addicted to reading it. Um, okay, maybe I overstated this, but I watch Harry Potter movies, all of them, and I read all of the books, and I loved it. But maybe it was too far away in the history, so the bigger impact now, Stranger Things, the more magic it delivered to me.
What about Squid Game? You watch Squid Game?
I watched, and I like it till the white people appeared,
Until
because
the white people appeared.
no one behaved like this. I mean, you
Yeah.
know what was the issue? The VIPs.
Yeah.
So the issue was uh, these dialogues of the VIPs were written by Koreans.
Yeah. I
The
assume the
English
whole show
dialogues,
was, right? Yeah.
the English dialogues with the
Yeah.
VIPs, they were written by Koreans,
Yeah.
and this is not how English speaking people talk. This is
Correct.
just not the dialogues they have. This is
Yeah.
not the jokes they make. They like not sure if you watch it in English or you watch it in original or subtitles, but
I watched it original with subtitles.
yeah,
I was told that was the better way to do it.
so I always do it. But then when the English dialogues come, people don't talk this way. So I was like, you ruined the show with they didn't ruin, but to me they ruined the show, because it was like the joke kind of why you choose 96 is because 69 is dead and it meant to be funny joke. No, people don't joke this way.
Right.
It's not
It
so
I think that's pretty keen of you to be able to pick up on that even though English isn't your native language, you at least understand the language to such a level that you understand what would be
yeah.
considered a
I
joke or
speak
funny. Go ahead.
I speak grammatically very incorrect often, especially when I start rushing, but I was so influenced by the TV shows. I watched so many
Yeah.
TV shows and movies in
Yeah.
English that
I mean,
I know how
you speak a common tongue. I mean, like when
yeah,
I hear you speak like an American, not like someone that learned English in a school. You speak
because
English like you learned it on the street. You know what I mean? Like
I
you're like
didn't
me and
learn
my five
English.
bros, no
Yeah,
homo. You know, like they don't teach you that in school.
yeah. Because I didn't learn English at school. I couldn't speak English after school. I was very bad.
Yeah, you
So
learned
I
it in a
learned it in the
bar.
bar in UK. Yeah.
Clearly.
Then moved to Hong Kong, and my friend for Christopher is from Liverpool. My flatmate is Welsh. My girlfriend is from Hong Kong. So like, but yeah, these dialogues were just so bad. Like, I think everyone who speaks English should pick it up. People don't talk this way, and you should hire the English speaking people to wrote the dialogues for you there.
Yeah.
So
Yep, for
like,
sure.
don't
I've been to Chicago, Christopher,
yeah.
and Springfield, but he was asking if we've been to
Yeah.
Illinois.
I see the Illinois. There in Chicago has big Polish community, but it's like
Minneapolis too, by the way.
but I think they are very different. This is the different. This is the people that left in 80s. and they kind of, I think they leave the past. I saw the pictures of the shops in Chicago, the Polish shops, and they kind of look like they stopped in 1990.
They've
You
been there
know, with
100 years or more.
this is not how Poland looks like now. Like this, um, how did? Oh shit! I just published the video I wanted to do after
After the
live,
live.
but I set the time to 6 because I at first it was 4, then I set it to 6, and I should probably do it 7 after the live.
Let me ask you,
So
how long does it take you to upload a 20-minute video?
I'm
Does it take you minutes or does it take all 20 minutes? And I mean, if
upload
I,
just
yeah, to
upload
upload,
time.
what's your upload time like?
I didn't upgrade my internet speed for a long time. 20 minutes, I would say.
To do to do one of your, regular
20
episodes?
minutes, maybe
Yeah.
sometimes depending if I do something more, maybe half an hour sometimes. Yeah, that's
And
it's
then do you take your videos and edit them in editing
so
software?
like I tell you my recording process, and then I'm gonna go call my girl because also I published the video, right? So
Right. You can have something to do.
let me see. I so and only one view. So I will tell people, oh, go to watch my new video
I
after,
will.
but I don't need it to be popular because it's political video. Um,
Nice.
so I'm I'm quite fluent with recording. I don't have the running thoughts when I record video. Like I have like so it takes me one take. So 20-minute video often takes me 20 minutes or 30 minutes because I might start few times, but it doesn't take me more than half an hour, I would say.
And then do you just go right
And
from
I
that
edit
video
this.
shoot to
I
publish,
edit
or do
this.
you
I
edit?
edit
You do
this
edit.
because it's so the process is I have the camera here, which is
Yep.
DSLR camera, and a voice I record on my laptop with this mic, right? So I
Yep.
hit the so exactly what I do, I hit the hit time player and I record the audio with the screen recording, and on the camera here I record the visuals. So
So you
then
have an external camera that you're using,
I have this camera that stands here.
and that's what you shoot your videos with.
Yes. So
Is that a
that's
Canon?
this is Canon 6D Mark II.
A Mark II? I have one. I don't
And
know. I have to check what it is. I haven't set it up.
so here is the card, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
record, so then I take out the card
Yep.
from the camera, and I get to my laptop, so I go to Adobe Premiere Pro.
Yep.
So I import the video, the visual from the camera, and I import the screen recording with the audio. So how long it takes after that to edit this? It's also quite fast process because so I put it, I open in Premiere Pro, so I have this video, screen recording with the audio. I connect them to match the audio. Then I turn off the audio that was recorded on the camera
Yep.
and match it with the audio that was recorded on the computer because it's better audio. So I remove one line
Yep.
and I connect this. Then I cut ending and beginning. Then I export the audio and go to the software that is called Audacity to edit the audio, remove the noise, and
Yep.
make this louder. It takes few minutes. So
Huh.
first upload into Premiere Pro few minutes to export the audio, then few minutes
And you're on
to
Apple. You have an M1.
yes, then few minutes to edit audio in Audacity. Then I go back to Premiere Pro and export the video. And for the video, I also use the, for example, I use the LAT. You know, I can show you the screen recording.
And
So
are you also doing your thumbnails in Premiere?
in Photoshop.
In Photoshop?
Um, I'm recently so lazy to do the.
And what about, are you using Photoshop filters then to do all of your thumbnails?
I mean I will correct the how to call it. Wait, I will correct the lighting and stuff like this, right? So brightness, color, a little bit. Yeah, I edit that. So I edit that in Photoshop, but I don't really use any specific filters then. I use the Instagram filters
You're
to do
using
the faces.
Insta filters. That's what I thought you were doing. That's what it looks like to
Yeah,
me.
so I take the picture from my
on
phone on the
Insta,
Instagram,
and then you're importing
and
that.
then I save it and move it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Okay, that's what I
I
figured.
I will show you how it looks like. That's
My
what I'm
PC
doing.
is such a piece of shit. I can't even run Photoshop. It just lags.
I love MacBook. So here is how it looks like, right? Can you see it?
Yep.
So the one line is the camera recording over here. The other one is the screen recording. Then
Yep.
below there is audio. One is from the camera recording and the other one is from the screen recording. So first I export this audio, the screen recording audio. I edit this and import it again. So this is the good one, and
Yep.
it's 2 lines only. You see?
Yep. I know what you're doing.
I not much editing. Full face. Then I make this one smaller and keep this one below in recording. So that's all I do. And I have like super messy desktop because I record so much. Oh, this is the
for doing your.
this is the live stream I like to listen to. Is Vincent Trachinello, the Vincent Trachinello. He's the virologist, I would say. I like to listen to his podcast. And I have ultra. Oh shit! I did something wrong. This is my desktop.
Yeah, that's a mess.
No, that's how it looks like.
Nice.
Okay, I'm going to go now.
Yeah,
okay?
You gotta go talk to your girl. But thanks for chatting. I feel like we've been doing it 2 hours, but we didn't even get to cover half the things I wanted to talk about. So we'll have to do it again sometime. Stay in touch.
Yeah.
Well, always a pleasure to talk to you, Marcin. I appreciate your time.
No worries. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.
Yeah, you too, man.